A crowded nightclub in wartime Morocco hides more than music and laughter.
I love you, still have to be you, wonderful you.
Somewhere inside, two pieces of paper can decide who escapes the war and who never leaves alive. And the man holding them is the one person who claims he never risks his neck for anyone. That man is Rick Blaine, played by Humphrey Bogart. Rick owns a popular nightclub called Rick's Cafe in the dangerous city of Casablanca. He is quiet, cynical, and determined to stay neutral in a world torn apart by war. The year is 1941, during the chaos of World War II. Casablanca has become a waiting room for desperate refugees. People from all over Europe arrive hoping to escape the Nazis. But leaving isn't easy. First, they must obtain exit visas. Then, they must secure plane tickets to Lisbon. From Lisbon, they can finally reach America. Most people never make it that far.
Perhaps tomorrow we'll be on the plane.
The city is controlled by the suspicious but charming police captain, Captain Louis Renault, played by Claude Rains. Renault pretends to enforce the law, but in truth, he works with whoever benefits him most. And above everyone else stands the powerful Nazi officer, Major Heinrich Strasser. His mission is simple: stop anyone important from escaping. Meanwhile, Rick's Cafe has become the center of everything. Refugees gamble there, officials drink there, secrets change hands there. Rick runs the place with strict rules. He never drinks with customers.
Madam, he never drinks with customers. Never. I have never seen it.
He never discusses politics. And most importantly, Rick sticks his neck out for nobody. One night, a small-time criminal named Ugarte arrives at Rick's club. He carries something extremely valuable: 2 letters of transit. These documents allow anyone to travel freely and leave Casablanca immediately. Even the authorities cannot question them. Ugarte stole them after killing 2 German couriers. Now the police are searching everywhere. Before he is arrested, Ugarte secretly asks Rick to hold the letters for him. Rick reluctantly agrees. Moments later, the police storm the club. Ugarte is taken away, and Rick becomes the only man in Casablanca holding the most powerful papers in the city. But that is not the real problem. The real problem walks into the club the very next night.
Monsieur Ugarte, will you please come with us?
Rick, hide me. Do something. You must help me, Rick.
The club suddenly goes silent because standing at the entrance is a famous resistance hero, Victor Laszlo.
I reserve the table. Victor Laszlo.
Yes, Monsieur Laszlo. Right this way.
He has escaped Nazi prison camps and become a symbol of rebellion across Europe. The Nazis desperately want him captured, but he is not alone. Standing beside him is a woman Rick never expected to see again, Ilse Lund, played by Ingrid Bergman. The moment Rick sees her, everything changes. Years earlier, Rick and Ilse were deeply in love in Paris. They planned to run away together, but on the day they were supposed to escape the invading Nazis, Ilse disappeared. She left only a note. Rick never forgave her. Now she is back, and she is married to Victor Laszlo. Laszlo needs the letters of transit. Without them, he will be arrested by the Nazis. Rick has the only chance to save him, but Rick refuses. He pretends he does not care. He tells himself the past is dead, but the past refuses to stay buried.
You fought against the fascists in Spain. Are you enough of a businessman to appreciate an offer of 100,000 francs?
I appreciate it, but I don't accept it.
Mademoiselle, after this terms, it is not safe for Laszlo to stay in Casablanca.
Ilse secretly visits Rick late at night. She asks him for the letters. Rick refuses. He reminds her how she abandoned him in Paris. The pain is still fresh. But the next day, things grow worse. Major Strasser begins closing in. The Nazis know Laszlo is trying to escape, and Captain Renault announces that Laszlo will soon be arrested. Time is running out. Laszlo continues searching for help. He even approaches Rick directly, but Rick still refuses. However, Laszlo notices something strange. Whenever Ilse and Rick are in the same room, the tension is unbearable. Something clearly happened between them. Later that night, Ilse confronts Rick again. This time she brings a gun. She demands the letters. Rick stands still. She cannot pull the trigger. Instead, she breaks down and reveals the truth.
Why weren't you honest with me? Why did you keep your marriage a secret?
Victor wanted it that way.
Ilsa never meant to abandon Rick. Back in Paris, she believed her husband Victor Laszlo was dead in a Nazi prison camp. That is why she fell in love with Rick. But just before they planned to escape together, she discovered Laszlo was alive, and he needed her. So she left Rick without explanation, not because she stopped loving him, but because she had to return to her husband.
Just before you and I were to leave Paris together, a friend came and told me that Victor was alive.
Rick finally understands. All the anger he carried for years suddenly disappears. But now the situation is even more complicated. Ilsa admits she still loves Rick, and she is willing to stay with him if he asks. For a moment, Rick considers it. He could use the letters himself. He could escape with Ilsa, leave the war behind. But doing that would mean abandoning Victor Laszlo and the entire resistance movement. Rick must make a choice: love or something bigger.
We have a warrant for your arrest.
On what charge?
Captain Renault will discuss that with you later.
We'll tell him at the airport. The less time to think, the easier for all of us. Please trust me. Call off your watchdogs when you let them go. I don't want them around this afternoon. We've still lots of things to do.
The final plan unfolds at the airport. Rick pretends he will sell the letters to Captain Renault, but secretly he arranges something else. He brings Laszlo and Ilsa to the plane. At the last moment, Ilsa realizes Rick's true plan. She is supposed to leave with Laszlo, not with Rick. Rick explains calmly. Laszlo needs her, the resistance needs him, and their fight is more important than Rick's happiness. Ilsa hesitates. Rick gently convinces her. If she stays, she will regret it forever.
You said I was to do the thinking for both of us. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. It all adds up to one thing. You're getting on that plane with Victor.
Tears fill her eyes. She boards the plane with Laszlo. But just before the plane leaves, Major Strasser arrives with soldiers. He tries to stop the plane. Rick pulls out a gun and shoots him. Strasser falls to the ground. The plane takes off into the fog.
Victor Laszlo is on that plane.
I would advise you not to interfere.
Now, Rick faces the consequences. He has just killed a Nazi officer. For a moment, it seems Rick will be arrested, but Renault surprises everyone. He orders the officers to round up the usual suspects.
Major Strasser has been shot. Round up the usual suspects.
He chooses not to report Rick. Instead, he quietly helps him escape. Rick has finally taken a side. He is no longer neutral. He is now part of the fight against the Nazis. As the fog covers the airport, Rick and Renault walk away together, marking the beginning of an unexpected friendship and the moment Rick Blaine finally decided to stand for something.